Alright boys, and welcome back to another vanilla base design. This base looks friendly on the outside, however it comes equipped with bunkers and lootable loot rooms and bait walls, making the offline protection outstanding for the base's size. This base costs 27k metal fragments, 22k stone, 23k wood, and 392 high qual metal. This also includes every single deployable that you'll see inside the tour. To make things look a little bit easier, this is how many boxes of each material you will need to build the base. Essentially you'll need 1 box of metal, 1 box of stone, and 1 box of wood. As for the upkeep per day, you'll need 4k stone, 4.5k metal, and 79 high qual. Without further ado, let's jump into the tour. Currently I've got an overlapping TC set up, however you can build whatever you want. This attaches over to a gatehouse, which leads into our compound. It's a pretty small compound, which means you don't have to farm too much wood, however there's plenty of space for 2 large furnaces. You can use the furnace or a ladder to get up to your front door. And once again you have 2 front doors, which makes you a little bit harder to door camp. There's a window in the middle for looking out and you can see your gatehouse perfectly from here. Opening this door creates an airlock and also takes us deeper inside the base. From here we're met with a drop down in our tier 3. Underneath the airlock we have our tier 2 and some extra boxes. Opening up the 2 double doors will take us deeper inside the base and also create an airlock for the front door. This base is completely symmetrical on the left and right, so it'll be easy for your teammates to learn. Inside the core you can add in any deployables you want. I know there's a lot of bags in here, however I'd recommend this base for a duo. At the far end of the base is space for some unlootable loot rooms, and you can access these boxes by standing on a campfire. And these boxes are completely unlootable unless your name is Blueprint. And on top we can access 2 more boxes, however neither of these are unlootable. Heading further up the way takes us to our roof. And from here we have a pretty simple roof that has space for a mini copter landing, a turret to defend, and a battery for your turrets. Again, the base is symmetrical, so we'll just come down the opposite side. More boxes, a second unlootable loot room, and space for more deployables. Opening up the armored doors will give us access to our bunkers. In order to break the stability seal over each of our bunkers, we need to place in a roof, and then you'll see that the 2 triangles disappear. On the right hand side we have room for our TC, it's guarded by 2 shotgun traps and there's space for some more boxes. And on the left we have an Evil Worst style drop down loot room. In order to seal up your bunkers you need to break the twig and replace your triangles. That concludes the tour for this base. Next up I'm going to show you boys how to raid it. Raiding from the back of the base is going to allow you to splash open both bunkers. So for a little under 38 rockets you have access to both bunkers. Next let's try raiding through the door path. From doors the cheapest path will be to head straight through the armoured. Then they can finish off the last 2 walls with 15 rockets. To gain access to the loot rooms you'll need to break the windows and the doors. I know there are different ways to raid this base, that's just how I would do it. For starters, you're going to need a nice flat spot to build. Once you've found the perfect place, we can kick off the footprint with some floor stacking. The gap in between these 2 foundations doesn't need to be tight, however there cannot be a gap in between these 2 walls. Once you think you've done your floor stacking correctly, you can place 2 squares off the higher foundation, and then finish it off with 2 triangles. Repeat this shape on the back side, and then add 2 squares off the left and right. For just now, break this middle triangle and add a triangle on the left, and then 3 squares along. Then you can add a square off the middle, break the rest, and then add 2 triangles. Once you've done that, you can place this one in the middle back. The concept of this base works off of a lack of stability, so this is all the foundations we're going to place on the lower side. Then for the sides, we're going to add in 3 triangles, and then we're going to add a square and 2 triangles. You can break the extra stuff, and then copy that on the opposite side. Finally on the back side, we're going to add in 1 last triangle foundation. Coming inside the core, we're going to upgrade the left square to armoured and the right square to metal. We're also going to upgrade this triangle to armoured, then the other triangles surrounding the core can upgrade to metal. All the foundations around the front of the base are going to be metal. And then we can upgrade the ones around the back to stone. And that's the entire footprint upgraded to its final form. Next we're going to wall in the armoured square and add a roof on top. You can place your TC in the back right corner and then add a door frame in front. You can also wall in your chute and add a ladder hatch frame on top. Use a ladder to get out for just now, and then we can wall in the second square. Add a roof on top, and before we place the frame we're going to add in a half shelf. Upgrade your half shelf to metal and then add in all your boxes. Put a window in front when you've placed all your boxes. And then you can wall in your chute again with armoured walls. A triangle frame on top, and use a ladder to get out. Back inside the TC room we're going to use the half shelf from the other room to make a triangle. Upgrade your triangle to metal and then place in all your boxes. Make sure you lock the TC inside core. Place the garage door in front when all your deployables are done. Next you can add in the final wall in front and upgrade to armoured. However, leave off this roof for just now, do not place it yet. Drop off of here and we're going to wall in the square. Add upgrade to metal. Add a roof on top. Place whatever you'd like in the square, but make sure we can still place a roof off of the foundation. Then we're going to wall in our triangle. On the final side we're going to do a half wall and a low wall. The reason we don't place a full wall is because it will provide far too much stability and our bunkers won't work. So please remember that this needs to be a half wall and a low wall. Same on this triangle, we're going to do 2 walls and then a half wall and a low wall. Again, just to remind, it's super important that you do half wall and low wall. Then from here you can add roofs on top of your triangles and a ladder hatch frame in between. Then from there we're going to place a lower triangle inside and upgrade to armoured. At this stage in the base we can test our bunker to make sure it works. Place in your 2 triangles and then add in your roof. If the triangles disappear then you've done the base correctly. However, if you can't seem to get it to work, I have my Discord link down below and I usually respond in there pretty quickly. The next step is to wall in this square and you can upgrade to metal. Placing a low square inside of here will also break the base, so make sure you just do a triangle. Then you can add another square on top. Same on this side. Add in a low triangle and then a high square. On top we're going to add a window in the middle and 2 single doors on the left and right. For just now you can use a ladder to get inside your base. Then you can add in a double door and a roof on top. All this stuff can be stone. Then we can add in some more honeycombing on the left and right. Finally we can honeycomb the back. The wall in the middle is actually going to be upgraded to armoured, along with the 3 triangles on top. These 3 triangles need to be armoured because it stops the unlootable loot rooms being splashed along with the bunkers. Next, come off the side and we can add 1 more stone foundation. And another one on this side. Add walls on the left and right of your squares. Then you can finish it off with a roof piece. Same on this side. On the triangles, just add walls. And same on this one. You can add stone walls on top of the metal triangle. And this is what the base should look like so far. On the left and right of your front door, we're going to upgrade the walls to metal. And you can wall in the first 2 triangles. Just like that. The final stone triangles are going to be used for turret pods. After adding in some frames, you can do a metal window behind. Honeycomb the backside with metal walls, just like that. Next we're going to create our jump up so we can add a ceiling on top. Create a half square on top of both of your bunkers. and upgrade to metal. Add a triangle coming off on both sides. Add a garage door frame in front. Then add a roof on top of the whole base except for these two triangles. Upgrade the outer triangles to stone, and then all your other floors can be upgraded to metal. To secure your roof, place in a frame and 2 walls. Upgrade the door to stone and the rest to metal. Same thing on this side. And then you can place in all your doors and windows. On the inside of the base you can add a wall in between the 2 loot rooms, and then add 2 walls in front. You can also wall in your bunker drop downs. And then you can place a triangle in the middle. And I also recommend you upgrade this frame to armored. Next you can place in some door frames. Make sure you do the raised door frame. And upgrade to metal. Then add in 2 door frames beside the front door. Place in a metal triangle to make moving around a little bit easier. And then you can place in your workbench level 3. And then you can place in your doors. Next up you can build your extra loot rooms. Come inside and we're going to place our boxes. Make sure the code lock faces in the way. Make sure your teammates author the code before you seal them off. Then we can place in 2 more boxes up top. These ones aren't unlootable, so they don't need code locks. Finally, add a window frame in front. To access these boxes, place a campfire in the middle. And then you can stand on top and access the boxes. Build your loot room again on this side. I'm going to use this triangle for a mini loot room. It's up to you if you want to do the same. And you can use this triangle for furnaces or a locker. And then you can do that to the opposite side. Go ahead and place in some door frames and garage doors all the way around the core. However, save your armored doors for your bunkers. If you don't care about the extra airlock, then you can change out these doors for garage doors. From the top of the base, we're going to wall in these 2 triangles and upgrade to stone. Add a roof on top, and then wall in this triangle, place your large battery. Add a window in front, and then you can add a roof on top of your garage. Add 2 double door frames, and then 2 garage doors. There's a space for a minicopter and a couple beds. Next we're going to extend our roof airlock. Place in a couple windows, and then swap out these doors for garage doors and add a double door in front. From up top, it's pretty obvious that this base includes floor stacking, so we're going to go and try hide it. Add low walls on the left and right, and then place in half walls all the way around. Finally, you can add in some floors, and then upgrade all this stuff to stone. Hopefully now it's not too obvious that the base is floor stacked. Add a windmill on top of your minicopter garage, and then you need a total of 3 turrets for this base. 1 here, 1 here, and 1 here. Don't forget to place some garage doors inside and make sure the bumper faces in the way. These garage doors can be opened and closed from inside your base. To complete the base, you can add in a gatehouse and an overlapping TC. Once you've built the mini compound and gatehouse, you can add an external TC of your choice, or just copy what I do. Once you've added in an overlapping TC, that will complete the base design. Hopefully you boys did enjoy this base design, and I hope to see it out there on some servers. If you guys ran into any issues, or if you need my help, you can ask me in the comments, or you can join my Discord down below. If you boys could leave me a like on this video and drop me a sub, that'd be great, and I'll see you boys in the next one.